John is an exile on Patmos, a man in his 60s whose body bears the fatigue of imprisonment, but whose mind burns with visions. He writes as he sees, recording what the Spirit reveals about heaven and history. The Lamb appears not as a conquering warrior, but as the slaughtered one, radiant with scars turned to glory. This figure embodies both sacrificial death and triumphant rule, the center of heaven's worship. In that first moment, John says he is caught up in the Spirit and sees a door opened in heaven. From the lonely shore, the vision lifts him above the island into a holy courtroom where time feels suspended and judgment and worship meet. As the vision opens, John describes a throne at the center with someone seated upon it. Around the throne is a rainbow like an emerald, and from the throne come flashes of lightning and voices like thunder. This imagery announces divine authority and cosmic presence. Then John sees 24 elders seated around the throne, clothed in white and wearing golden crowns. Before the throne are 7 lamps burning, which represent the 7 spirits of God. The elders' white robes and crowns signal purity and honor before divine rule. As the scene continues, John sees 4 living creatures around the throne, each different, like a lion, like an ox with a human face, and like a flying eagle. They are full of eyes and never cease to worship. These beings symbolize creation's varied praise and perpetual attention to God. In that same place, the 4 living creatures and the elders fall down and worship, saying continually, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord God Almighty." Their song is both court language and cosmic confession, declaring God's holiness and eternal dominion to every corner of reality. As John watches, a mighty angel proclaims with a loud voice, asking who is worthy to open the scroll sealed with 7 seals. The sealed scroll represents the unfolding of God's decisive plan for history. The question makes the courtroom hush with expectancy and judgment. But before the question is answered, John records that no one in heaven, on earth, or under the earth is found worthy to open the scroll or look into it. This silence reveals the gravity of divine purposes. No power but one can enact God's final decrees. Then John says he wept greatly because no one was found worthy. His tears show the human response to divine mystery and hope deferred. The absence of a worthy one threatens despair until redemption steps forward. But then one of the elders says, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered." This elder points toward hope rooted in covenant promises, reminding John that God's redemptive plan is linked to the line of David and the lion imagery of victory. In that same moment, the vision pivots. John sees a lamb standing as though slain at the center of the throne. The lamb bears the marks of death and yet lives, a paradox of sacrifice and sovereignty. This figure is the one who could open the scroll because the lamb's death purchased the right to redeem history. Then the lamb approaches and takes the scroll from the right hand of the one on the throne. This action is the decisive turning point. The one who bore the wounds now holds authority to open the future. The courtroom erupts with the recognition of worthiness. As the Lamb takes the scroll, the angels and elders and every creature break into a new song declaring you are worthy to take the scroll and open its seals, because you were slain, and by your blood you ransomed people. This song explains why the Lamb is worthy. Through sacrificial love, the work of redemption is accomplished. Immediately the chorus names who were redeemed, people from every tribe, language, people, and nation. The vision insists that the Lamb's work is universal and covenantal. It fulfills promises to Israel and reaches the nations, assembling a people for God from every corner. As the liturgy swells, every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and in the sea joins in a great multitude, singing blessing and honor and glory and power to the one seated on the throne and to the Lamb forever. The vision shows worship as the response to revealed redemption. Then the elders fall down before the Lamb and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "You are worthy." Their act of laying down crowns is symbolic. Honors and earthly distinctions are given back to God through the Lamb, who alone is sovereign and the source of true kingship. Finally, John hears the doxology of worship and understands the vision's claim. True authority rests in the one who is both just judge and redeeming sacrifice. The scroll can be opened because the Lamb has paid the price. History will move forward under his authority toward consummation. When the vision ends, John is left to record what he has seen. His commission is not merely to marvel, but to warn and to encourage the churches. He writes so that the church remembers who rules and on what basis final judgment and redemption unfold. Moreover, John writes this vision to struggling believers who face persecution. He wants them to know that despite earthly trials, ultimate authority belongs to God and the Lamb who redeems. The throne vision reframes suffering inside the certainty of divine governance and final vindication. Finally, the vision teaches that heavenly worship is not ornamental but revelatory. The songs and titles applied to God and the Lamb reveal identity, purpose, and the means of salvation. Worship in heaven explains who God is and what he has done in history. As the vision closes, the throne room continues in ceaseless praise, and John is left with the assurance that the story of the world belongs to one who is both just and merciful. The scroll will open in due time under the Lamb's authority. Therefore, John commits the vision to writing so the churches will remember who rules history and why hope endures. His record is pastoral and prophetic. It calls communities to faithfulness under the reign of the Lamb and to patient expectation of final restoration. And so the vision leaves the viewer with two linked truths. God's holiness and justice sit beside his mercy and redeeming work. The throne declares judgment, the Lamb declares salvation. Together they shape the path of history toward a renewed creation. The vision of chapters 4 and 5 teaches that ultimate authority rests with God and with the Lamb who accomplished redemption by sacrificial death. Worship reveals both identity and mission. God reigns, and the Lamb redeems the nations. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.